What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to fix some gaps in our auto-generated subtitles. So, this is our video editor. It's not too fancy right now. We have this like audio timeline on the bottom. You can like go in here and you can like select chunks of video that you want to export. You can like preview these chunks.
Get lost too bad.
They're pretty, sorry, these ones are kind of long, but you know, if I jump to the end of one, it'll like automatically jump to the start of the next. And then we can like re-export these with ffmpeg. So if I like save this and I run some script, it will like parse our save and dump out a new video that like approximately matches this. Maybe not like 100%, it might be like a couple frames off, but for the most part, it's good enough. And the reason that we made this thing was because when cutting down a large video, it makes sense to have some way to like narrow in on the sections that you think are relevant quickly. And the thought was maybe if we had like text that represents where in the video we are, maybe that helps, right? So we have this thing on the right, and if I click on this word precise, hopefully when I hit play, it'll say precise. It's cuts, right? You can imagine that, right? Yeah, so it said precise cuts that you can imagine let, and that's like exactly what we have here. So we're getting somewhere kind of useful. Now, where we were at the other day is that this was all kind of one giant blob of text. It's not one giant blob of text now, it's got line breaks, but these line breaks are kind of like fake and wrong. So if there was like one large chunk of text, like skimming becomes really hard. You need like visual breaks in some way to help you distinguish sections of text, I guess. Like when I'm skimming, I'm basically like looking at like starts of paragraphs, I think. Starts and ends, maybe like occasionally glancing at the middle, but like starts and ends are kind of key points when skimming. And so we were kind of hoping that if we were to take our audio and we were to maybe look for segments where I made big pauses and then we split it up that way, maybe that would result in something that was like easier to work with. Now what we found was that there's just missing text, and that makes this really complicated. So if we click here and we see like more fun, it says in the text here, more fun is, and I play it. So the thought is that I can read, and it just missed that so the thought. And that like makes it think that there's a line break there, and that causes issues. So the goal for today is to try to understand why that's happening and try to get this like transcription to be a little better. If we like fix the transcription, then we can go back to like trying to find good heuristics for what makes good breaks between segments. And if we get through that, then we can start like working on like other quality of life improvements. Like showing a progress bar up here, and like maybe showing a progress bar in like the scroll bar here, maybe some form of like ability to like merge segments together or like split segments, you know, stuff like that. But for the main focus is debugging this like transcription issue. So I think there's been enough stuff that's come up with this part of the code base that it makes sense to just like properly commit a feature to correlate sections of text that we see with our eyeballs with audio that we feed into the Whisper text generator thing. The thought is that probably we are doing something like taking 8 seconds of text because we picked 8 randomly, or 8 seconds of audio, and at the end we might have like some words that are like hello, right? And we're like cutting off halfway through a word, maybe, and then the next segment starts, and we feed that next segment in, and we just like have like half a word here. And so maybe Whisper is getting confused. He's like, I don't really know how to work with this thing. It's like off by one. And so maybe even then, like the next word that starts here, world, he might be like, well, I didn't really know that this word ended. So how do I know that this word started? And so he like may take a little bit of time to like get his bearings. And so let's just kind of see if we can, if we listen to this and it sounds almost right, just with this issue, then we can fix that. But before we do that, we should like understand what the problem is completely, right? So let's try to export like segments of audio as like wave files or something. Maybe we'll like encode them with ffmpeg and drop them into some directory. And then we can work from there, right? Like correlated with text. So maybe we'll say like this audio file generated this chunk of text, and we'll say like we'll put their like timestamps or something as file name or something. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll just kind of see where it goes. That's the plan. So I think since I want this to be a real feature, I think the place that I want to start is in our argument parsing. Let's maybe add an argument where we can say like debug output. And if this is set, I think this doesn't have to be null terminated. I guess it can be null terminated though. It doesn't hurt to say it. If this is set, then we will like create some folder structure where we put extra data that we wouldn't normally generate. And then we'll just say that that is handled by some argument debug output. And somewhere we have to do something with that argument. So if we see that argument, I guess we will just set some variable that starts as null. Var debug output starts as a nullable const u8. And if they pass this flag, then we will just say debug output is equal to whatever like the next argument is. Args next. There we go. Okay. And then somewhere we're going to have to pass that on. Debug output is equal to debug output. And over here, we're going to have like a help thing for the debug output. So we'll just say, if you see the flag debug output, go ahead and say where to put debug extra debugging files. And maybe we'll even flag as like optional. Optional location to put extra debugging files. There we go. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Side note, actually, I shouldn't be coding in this like half window. I just had top open at some point and just didn't really realize. But side note, this like in Zig, there's no way to do a switch on strings. But what you can do, which is very fancy and tricky, is you can use this like at syntax to say like, normally you would write your enum just like hello, right? But maybe you have like dashes in your enum and you're like, well, Zig is going to parse this as like minuses, and it's going to be like, what the fuck? You can't write a dash in the middle of your enum. So if you put like at like this, it kind of says like parse this string like it's like a normal thing. I don't know how to like explain the word correctly, but like you can name variables and like enum cases with this like at symbol, and it just says like this is actually like this gets compiled down to like 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So these are just like integers. And then you can use like compile time reflection in Zig to basically turn strings into this like these numbers. And then you can just switch on them like they're strings. But you're technically not switching on strings. You're technically switching on numbers that were generated from strings, which is kind of fun. Kind of like fun little Zig-ism that you wouldn't be able to do in other languages. Like in C, I don't know if like in C you would have to use some sort of like macro trickery to get the same like niceties. In Rust, you would have to use some sort of like hardcore macro stuff. C++, you probably also have to do macro bullshit. It's kind of neat. Okay, so we should have our arguments, and we can pass these in like here. Yeah, we'll just say, hey, we are going to shove some debug output in here. And debug output is going to be const u8, and I guess we have to do something with that, which will probably end up getting passed into like our init thread. That's where all the work is going. Can't you do this in Rust and C#? Sure, you could do it in JavaScript too. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if like just because you can doesn't mean that that's like the decision you're gonna make. There's lots of you have to make decisions everywhere you do anything. And or are you talking about this is in like the macro system or like the string parsing? Yeah, I guess in Rust you can just match on strings. I see. Yeah, but you don't have that ability in this language. Yeah, you're right. But that like matching on strings and that is, I don't actually know what it's doing under the hood. Cause like with this system, it's just wherever the fuck we were. With this system, it's just compiling to like a jump table, right? Like what this is this is like this is like an array of addresses, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this basically just says like jump to jump table at value index is what this is. I want like the match in Rust, if you do like match string, and then you say like, if I get this thing, do this thing. I don't really know what's actually happening. It must be doing some sort of like memcopy. I don't know if it's going to like deduplicate. If you do like ASDY here, I don't know if it's going to like parse the first 3 characters and check if they're in common and then just switch on the 4th one, right? Who knows what it's doing under the hood? So it gets a little more complex at like the language level, which is probably why they don't implement that in like this type of language. Okay, what was I doing? I was doing something. Word timestamp generator. We were trying to push some debug output. Right. So what I'm thinking is that we can just like kind of feed the audio that we're sticking into Whisper. Every once in a while we have like some audio buffer, and we're just going to be like, hey, could you run it on this thing? And so what we should just do is like write to disk approximately. This audio is like PCM, or I don't know what PCM stands for actually. It's like if you were to draw a waveform like this, right, that is the audio. This is 0, this is 1, this is -1, and these are float 32s. That's like what the data looks like, and we're like sampling at some frequency. So we need to take that thing and put it into a file somehow. And I think the easiest way to do that is probably with ffmpeg, right? Like I didn't look up like any libraries for this before stream, but it seems like surely ffmpeg can do what we want, and we already have the dependency, so we don't need to like add a new dependency to do this. Let's see. So let's make some sort of like debug output, and he's going to contain like folder, and this is going to be const8. And when we say like function write, maybe we'll make this optional. That might make, we'll see how the usage plays out. And then let's say that like write sample, write whisper chunk or something. Yeah, write whisper input output. Yeah, I like that. So we'll log like the audio buffer itself, which we have as a const u8 buffer, but technically it is like a bunch of float 32s. But we store it as a u8 buffer because we technically don't know what type the data is going to be. It happens to be float 32s, but we don't actually know that. Well, sorry. So on one end we don't. We have like ffmpeg gives us the audio from the video file. We like take that and we say like we have some sort of u8 buffer, and we also have some sort of like tag for format, which we only work with float 32s for now, but like this theoretically could be anything, which is why we work with these things as const u8s, because we're just copying them around anyways. Although I guess we know that Whisper is expecting float 32s, so we could cast this to float 32s, but I just don't want to fucking deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. What else do we have? We have to store the text. Yeah, sure. And maybe we also want to store like what timestamps this is related to. So start PTS and end PTS. Maybe we'll actually work in samples, so that we don't have to worry about like decimal points in our output. Or like if we were gonna like store each of these as like file names, having to worry about like, oh, we had like 1.24567 seconds versus just like which sample number we're on. I feel like which sample we're on makes it simpler. And then we can just say that we have like some output that we're trying to write to. I guess we need to take self here as well. And we'll just say file name is equal to std format buff print. Can we do alloc print? It's just makes my life easier. Even though we could pre-calculate a buffer size and make sure it doesn't like overflow or whatever, it's just easier if we fuck it, just stick it on the heap, you know? So we alloc print with our allocator. We have some string, which is just going to be the folder name, then the file name dot wave. Maybe uncompressed seems fine. I guess we could do something compressed, but then we're getting a less faithful representation of what we fed. And like, let's just try to keep it as close to what we gave as we can. So we'll save it as a wave. I think that makes sense. This is the folder. let's see, this is folder and then file. Which the file is actually going to be the start sample to the end sample dot wave. I think that makes sense. And then here we'll say that we have folder. Start sample, end sample. Sorry, I was ignoring some chat messages. I kind of got distracted. What were you guys talking about? Somebody's asking if I use a tiling manager, window manager. No, I'm just using KDE right now. Have I ever used a tiling window manager? Yes, it was fine. Like, I think that probably the advantage of tiling is like real, right? You can definitely like the workflows can feel better. But in my experience, there was like a point in my life where I stopped wanting to fuck around with stuff, and trying to like keep a tiling window manager but have all of the features of like a real operating system gets kind of like a pain in the ass, because you have to like start all the daemons that you want for like your desktop environment manually. It's just like a pain in the ass. If you're willing to take that pain in the ass, it's kind of fun, but you know, it is what it is. But that could have changed in like the past like 10 years since I've used one. People talking about switches. Looks like you're a Vim motions enjoyer. How long did it take you to get fast? I don't remember. It's been so long, right? It's like how long did it take you to learn English? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I learned it when I was a child. Like Vim, I learned like 10 years ago or something. And so like over time you kind of pick stuff up, but I don't really know how long it was till I was like proficient, or what I would consider an improvement, you know? Okay. Here we are writing, so we have a file name. This is I guess this is the audio file name, and then we have like a text file name. Clap is just the best. I'm a bigger fan of doing the argument parsing myself. You know? It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if it's worth the like, you have a choice with complexity, right? You can either take in a library and pull in its complexity, and then you have the complexity of like, how do I manage this dependency? How do I know if their code quality is good? How do I know if they're providing what I want? What if it doesn't provide what I want? How do I make it provide what I want? And then you're like, okay, so maybe they do provide what I want, but I have to learn all their APIs and stuff. The other option is you take on the complexity yourself and you just bang it out, right? Like you just write your own argument parser. And in my opinion, I don't think argument parsing is hard enough to warrant taking in that complexity, if that makes sense, right? And then you like, because your specific problem likely doesn't need all of the cases Clap supports. And if it does, then like, is it even easier to use Clap? Is like a question that I would have to ask myself, you know? But it's okay. Yeah, I guess it depends on the way you view these things. Depends. There's a little bit of duplication here, where the extension is here. We'll do this. We'll take the extension here. We'll say function generate file name. To be honest, most people pulling dependencies have no idea what the quality of the code on those dependencies and what the transitive dependencies even are. Yeah, I mean, I guess like another option is you don't have to know that if you're willing to just tank the cost later, right? You could like pull in a dependency and say, look, I'll like abstract it in a way where I know that this might not be good, and I might not like it, and I might want to try something else later. As long as you're aware of that fact when you pull it in, then it's not that bad, because you can always just reverse the dependency later. The real problem is when you like pull in a dependency and it affects your whole fucking code base, and then when you try to switch it later, it's like impossible, right? So I guess like that's the third option that I didn't express earlier. This guy's gonna return some form of constituate, and he's gonna take in, I guess, these things, start sample and end sample. He's going to take in self and the extension. Okay, and an allocator, I guess. So now we can do it like this. This just returns this. He writes try, I guess. Well, we just put an exclamation mark here, and that will propagate the error. And then here we can say self generate file name alloc start sample and sample wave. And this is the const audio file name. Defer. We have to deallocate this thing. So audio file name dinit. Boom. Oh, nope, sorry. Alloc free audio file name. There we go. And then we do the same thing here with the text file name. Except this comes from this now. Oopsies, what the fuck did I just press? F1 somehow by mistake? It's a hard life. I guess I slammed the F keys when I was trying to hit escape. Okay. So, have you had any big issues with Zig as a language since you started? It's so hard for there to be major issues with a language that's so, like, simple. Not that, like, implementation is simple, I guess, but, like, it's like C, where you just kind of feel like anything wrong is your fault, not the language's fault, which is pretty sick, right? Like, writing Rust or C++, you can be like, fuck you, Rust, for getting in my way. Or writing C++, you can be like, fuck you for just, like, advertising these functions in a way that isn't how they're used or how they're implemented. Like, they're just, like, you know, it's just, like, lots of, like, confusing stuff can happen in those languages. Whereas Zig, it's just like, whoop, didn't free the memory. My fault. My bad. Documentation isn't that great. Yeah, it's, but I'm of the opinion that, like, fuck docs anyway, you know? I'm a big fan of, like, just reading source code. Because, fuck it. Because I find that, like, reading docs, I'm just often left confused anyways. So, like, why bother, you know? You know? Okay, so we need to, like, dump this audio into some file. And I'm kind of thinking that probably you can just do, like, ffmpeg input from standard in with, like, some format that's like f32 something something something, and then just store that as, like, out.wave. I'm pretty sure that this is possible. Pretty sure. But we need to test that. So let's do this. Where am I? I'm in the right folder. Let's make a little test executable who generates, like, a sine wave and then spits it into ffmpeg. And let's just see if we can, like, get something that plays something back. Because if not, we're going to have to think of something a little bit more useful. So we're going to have some sort of loop. Let's say that we're generating a wave at, like, 48,000 hertz. And I think last time when we Googled, like, what is a reasonable sine wave, we saw, like, 440 hertz is something that we can, like, hear. So let's say that we want to, like, generate, like, 3 seconds of a sine wave. We can do, like, 0 to freak times 3. And then const freak is equal to 48,000. We have to do some sort of sine, but what do we want to do? I guess if we're at 440 hertz, is the same as 440 cycles in 1 second. Where 1 cycle is, like, 2 pi. So we have, like, within 48,000 steps, we have to move through 442 pi and, like, sine calls. Not sine calls, sorry. Iterations. So I guess this is, like, where the sample comes in. This is where our I goes, because at 48,000, when I is 48,000, which is, like, 1 second, we want to have done this. So we want, like, I over 48,000 equals this. Is that right? No. I times 48,000. So the 48,000 goes over here. Yeah, I think that's right. So we do I times 440 times 2 times std math pi divided by 48,000. Yeah, sure. We have no SCE here. So import std And then let's just write out this sine wave to a file. So const out is equal to std fs current working directory, create file that is like out.bin. This is a binary file. And we're just going to write out each of these samples to the binary file. Yeah, so we'll just say out.write all. We probably have to try here for the autocomplete to work. And then we can just write this. We have to turn it into bytes. We'll say const sample is equal to this thing. And then we will say std mem as bytes sample. Is that it? We'll find out soon. We will find out soon. Oh, wait. This needs... Yeah, this should be fine. I think. And then at the end here, we probably have to defer out close to flush all the buffers and shit. And this 48,000 should be freak. There we go. Okay, maybe. Maybe. Zig run test zig. He doesn't like that because create file needs some extra arguments here. And then we have some like float cast bullshit. So we'll do all of these multiplications first as f32 float from int on this shit. Then we multiply by pi, then we divide by frequency. Sure. Sure. He doesn't like this somewhere. Expected pointer as bytes. Oh, so as bytes is taking this in by reference. Okay. Okay, so we have less out bin, which is nothing useful. Hex dump. This also won't provide us anything useful, but there's data in there. There's data in there. And maybe we can play it. ffplay? Why don't I have ffplay? Does our shell.nix not pull in ffmpeg? It's kind of, maybe here it's saying that we need full? Maybe ffmpeg pulls in just the ffmpeg binary, but not all of its friends, like ffplay and ffitprobe. Yeah, okay. So we can look up maybe how to play ffplay raw audio. Surely this is impossible. Here we go. Format, so this is going to be signed 16-bit integers, little endian. This is the sample rate, and this is the number of channels. So we'll take these arguments, but we need to adjust the format, probably. So this is out bin, and then if we were just to take a fucking guess, that's crazy that actually worked. Oh, wait, sorry, is that... Let's double check that that's right. That doesn't. I'm not convinced that that's a 440 hertz wave, to be honest. So this is supposed to play for 3 seconds. So let's just count if that's right. I guess. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Yeah, the fact that it's still going is concerning. Oh, because we said 16 kilohertz instead of 48K. Here, oops. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. There we go. And that sounded more like what I expect 440 hertz to sound like. We could probably double check. We could Google 440 hertz wave and double check that it sounds about right. Not that it matters, but I mean, this will, at the very least, it will tell us, okay, that's the same noise. That will tell us that we're feeding into ffplay correctly. And now we can probably do the same thing, but we can do something like ffmpeg dash all of this stuff, then we take this as an output and then save to out.wave. Maybe. We'll see if that works. I was expecting it to yell at me, but that's kind of nice. Pacific time on Twitch? No, that's not what I want. What the fuck? Out.bin goes to out.wave. Was that rm out.wave? We run this thing on our binary, then save it to outwave. Okay. VLC out.wave. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we do have 3 seconds of 440 hertz sine wave, and then all we have to do is try to basically stitch those two things together. So we're gonna want to do like, you know, let's just kind of copy paste this, and then we'll kind of like make like ffmpeg raw audio renderer feels wrong. Raw audio writer. That kind of feels wrong. Wave writer feels more right. Yeah. We're writing a wave file. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna like spawn this process. So pub function init is going to take in maybe like the sample rate as a usize, and maybe like the output path as a const u8. What else does it need here? We're kind of like everywhere working in F32 LE, but I guess like technically it could be anything. So we could maybe like const audio is equal to import audio, and then we could take in the format as audio format. And if we do that right, all we should have to do is kind of like switch on our like format representation and figure out what like the mappings are to these commands. So sample rate, channels, I guess also fuck it. We'll just take in everything. Sure. Okay. So I don't actually know how to work with like commands in Zig. I've never done that before, but surely it's not that hard. Zig language reference. Surely it's not that hard. I'm assuming that they have some wrapper in the standard library process. Yeah. Okay. So how do I like make one of these things? Spawn, thread spawn, child spawn. Here we go. So we create a child, probably in it here, with the arguments and an allocator. Okay. This is going to allocate stuff, so there's no D in it. Run will wait for it. We don't really want to wait. We kind of want to spawn it with some standard input handle. Collect output. How do I like feed it standard in? Standard in. They have something. The writing end of the child's processes standard input pipe. The reading end of the child process. Okay, so it's probably like we have some sort of like fork exec spawn thing, and depending on which end I'm in, we can like basically write to this file with our data in the same way that we're writing to this file here. Me to my wife, we create a child. Perfect. You're like, I would just like to fork your process. And she's like, this is the worst foreplay of all time. Go away. Okay. Spawning thread or process, because we want to basically spawn ffmpeg to like huck our audio data at. Stood child process in it. I don't think that exists. But it seems like... Oh, fuck, I have to hit escape here. So, on init, does it have, like, init args? No, it just has, like, argv. So how do I just, like, set these things manually? The fact that they're documented kind of... Requires stood error behavior equals stood IO pipe available after calling spawn. Spawn. Oh, I'm on master, huh? Yeah, good eye. Good eye. Thank you. That would have wasted a fuck ton of time. Okay. Spawn and wait. Okay, so it's still got the same situation where, like, I don't really understand where this stuff gets set. I guess we'll just look at the fucking code. That's the answer. It's always the answer. So here he sets this stuff to null by default. But then we have stood in and stood out behavior. Ah, I see. So I probably set these guys to manually to pipe, and then when I spawn it, it will like construct the pipes. Is probably what it's going to look like. And then where did those go? Stood error behavior here. So stood IO pipe. Nice. That's what I want. But I kind of want only stood in or stood out. I don't know which from whose perspective we're talking about here, you know? I'm missing something obvious here. What's this? Run args is this? Look at what a crazy doc string. This is funny. They just inline the struct for the argument directly as like the parameter instead of like naming it and putting it somewhere else. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I've never done that, but of course that should work. It's just I've never seen that ever. That's really funny. Okay. Okay, let's just fuck it. Fuck it. Let's go over here. And let's look at maybe we'll go into lib stood and just look at process zig. And what was it? It was like child process it comes from child process here. So stood in behavior. How is this used? So when spawn POSIX, they say, hey, if the behavior is pipe, they create a pipe thing, and then stood self. What do they do with it? Set up child IO. If we are the child. So this is from the perspective of the child, I guess. Stood in is the child standard input, not our standard input, which is of course, because we don't have a standard input interacting with the child. We can only, oh no, we do. It just wouldn't be standard. I see. So probably here, when we spawn, it's going to run spawn POSIX, it's going to set up the pipes, and then presumably our end will get its like file handle set up. So wherever they said we are the parent, so here we're on the other end. We are the parent. And here they just set self-SCN. Perfect. Okay. Chilling. Okay. Where were we? Video editor. Test zig. So stood, process, child, spawn. No. Init. And we are going to run ffmpeg -f format string ffmpeg format string. Then we're going to do -ar at sample rate string. And then we're going to run -ac with channels string. And we're going to pull in input from standard in, and then output to output path. Chillin'. And then we just have to fill in these guys, so. Const ffmpeg format string is equal to switch format. And if we get audio format F32, this is just going to be F32 LE. Yep. And I think we only have one audio format defined, so this is actually exhaustive. And I don't think that you can do assignments like that in this language, actually. Maybe you can. Maybe that'll work. Const sample rate string is equal to stood alloc, or stood format alloc print with just like this. Or is it like can I just do format int? Nice. format int return. None of this is really straightforward. Okay, we'll just do std format alloc print and write d here, and then just pass in the sample rate. And we'll do the same for the channels. Channels string here, defer alloc.free sample rate string and channel string. Which means here we actually have to take in an allocator, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. It is fine. Const allocator comes from the standard library. I usually use buffprint if I don't have an allocator. Yeah, but I don't want to like think about it, you know, because then you have to say like, oh, I only have 4 digits, which is like kind of reasonable, but I just don't want to think about it. It's easier for me to pull in an allocator than to think about my ranges, and it's also like harder for this to ever fail. So, you know, it just is what it is, I guess. Okay, so we have some child, and then I guess we have to return our child. And then we are also going to have to, I guess this child standard input is just like in there somewhere. We also have to say child stood in behavior is equal to pipe. And then we have to child spawn. Okay. Then how do we kill this thing? Probably we send sig int to it and it will shut itself down, is my guess. So probably on dinit, we're going to like have some sort of like child handle, which we should look up what that is. It's stood process child, I guess. So child is stood process child. This has to return ourselves, wave writer, and we need to probably error out here in some way, in some cases. And in here, we're just gonna do what, like child self, child signal. Surely it's signal, right? Kill. Forcibly terminates, but I don't want forcibly terminate. This is gonna do something under the hood, which is self kill POSIX, but like, what's that do under the hood? He just calls with sigterm. Is there no way for me to like, ugh. So does that mean that my code's going to be like POSIX specific if I want to send a SIGINT to shut it down? I guess so. I guess so. That's kind of annoying, but it's fine. It's fine. So kill POSIX under the hood is just doing this, which is probably from like stood OS POSIX. Stood OS or POSIX. Yes, stood POSIX kill. And we just want to send it to the child ID, looks like. And we just send stood POSIX sig int. I'm making a big assumption here, but you know. Then we wait. Wait for it to finish. And this is failable, I guess. We try this. This is probably failable as well. Everything's failable all the time. Yep. Okay. Which means that dinit actually has to be failable as well. Or it's kind of like against convention for that. So maybe we'll just write catch stood log error failed to kill wave writer. Okay. Maybe we need to do if, well, maybe return here, self child, and then wait if it succeeded, because that's probably all we have to do. That seems reasonable. Pub function write audio, and we'll just take in audio as a const u8, and we'll just say feel fine, Flofian. I can read, and I've been able to read since I was a child. And you should believe me when I say, Flofian, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. So here we're going to write write all audio. Boom. I guess we call this buff instead because audio is already used. And we have to take in self here. And I would be shocked if this compiled, to be honest. But if it does compile, it might work. It might. It might. So let's try to construct this thing. So we'll say const or var wave writer is a wave writer initialized with our allocator, which we don't actually have yet. 48,000 hertz. Channels 1. Format audio, format F32. And then we'll output to out.wave. Yup. It probably won't even find ffmpeg. Yeah, probably. Okay. Const or var GPA is stood heap general purpose allocator with no config or default config, default initialized. We have to de-init this thing later and discard its return value, and then we have to pull out the allocator. Like this. I don't know how you were able to do this because I don't have Prime, but fuck it, here you go. That's pretty funny. Yeah, fuck software, man. All software is broken and buggy, and I've been saying that for my whole life. Okay. So here, just instead of writing to out, we won't create this out bin anymore, and we'll just try writing to our wave writer. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think that's it. No module named audio, except write audio.zig, of course. Actually, it's in source because we are not in the right directory. Root file has no thing process with a capital P, so stood process. Child like this, I guess. Audio format F32 does not support field access. What the fuck? Oh, oops. Oopsies. Expected 3 arguments, found 2, so everywhere alloc print, I need to take an allocator. And then 22. This guy needs expected 2 arguments, found 1. What's the second argument? Probably like a config of some sort. Oh, allocator. Alloc. All right. What else? Sample rate string. We forgot to write try on these prints. And cannot assign to constant because our child has to be variable, not constant. Okay, makes sense. Error is ignored. All right. Oh. Catch. This failed to wait. Wave writer. Value of type term is ignored, so then fuck off. I don't care if it succeeded or not. We will live. Okay. Out.wave already exists, so probably there's some sort of like force thing. ffmpeg help. Force. No? Can I not like force overwrite? ffmpeg force overwrite. Overwrite file if exists. -y. We will unconditionally do what you tell us to, and you can't stop us. Let's try running it again. So he seems like he's just not getting any data. So where are we at this point? So let's maybe like check if we've like tried writing our samples. Hello. Hello. Hello, code. It does look like we're just not getting there, huh? So it's kind of weird that the allocator is second parameter in child init. Yeah, it does feel kind of weird. I agreed. I saw that and I was like, that's kind of strange. So where are we getting stuck? Stood debug print init. Then here we are on spawn. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know? Init spawn hello. Oh, I just didn't read. So we did make it to the end here. And it's just on shutdown. So this kill might not be happening. Time to use GDB. Maybe. It does seem like that would make more sense. So we do call dinit here, and it just doesn't do anything. So this just must not be working. Which is confusing. A little bit confusing. But I guess maybe ffmpeg needs to do some amount of initialization before it's willing to accept a SIGINT. So let's just, like, out of curiosity, stood debug print, or sorry, stood time sleep for like 1 billion nanoseconds, aka 1 second, and just see if that changes the behavior at all. No, it doesn't. It does not. It feels weird to me that when I control C, this happens. Right, so how come when I dinit, this isn't doing anything? Oh, this becomes undefined after calling wait? Oh, but I haven't called wait yet. Do we get here? Waiting. He is waiting. So why the fuck isn't it stopping? Let's just slam a few SIGINTs at it just in case. Sometimes you do need to double SIGINT. But of course nothing. Of course nothing. Why would I expect any different? Let's just double check function kill. Let's pause kill POSIX. Which, if term, what is self-term? Spawn error term. Okay. Can we just try, let's just try calling kill POSIX and just see what happens. So we'll say a self child kill. And let's just see if that does anything else. Maybe you want sig term instead. But like when I control C, it's SIGINTing. So I don't really understand why it's behaving differently here. You know? Self, child, kill. But let's just see what happens if we call kill. And just, you know, maybe it'll behave differently. Immediate exit requested. Right? So this is what I don't really understand. Is this is getting the sig kill. Let's try going back here and using sig term here. And see if that changes behavior. Okay. So there's something that we clearly don't understand. Because I thought that when we looked at the kill implementation, that's all it did. But it must be that it is POSIX sig term self ID. So like, what the fuck is the difference? Unless like this is doing something first. So let's just is cleanup streams public? No. And also, what is self.term? Is this set for us? Shouldn't be. But maybe it does after spawn. This feels like it should be straightforward. Let me just look one last time. So kill POSIX. What do we want to do to get closer? Because like we just need to bisect something. Is POSIX coming from where I think it is? POSIX equals stood POSIX, which is what we're using. He is using the ID of the child, yes. And he's calling sigterm, yes. So it does feel like the only difference is that we might have to close our stood input handle. self child stood in close. Because I think that's what they did in here. Clean up streams, stood in close, yeah. Let's try that. Yeah, okay. That did something different. Which is good. Which is good. So let's go back to sig int here instead of sig term. So probably like ffmpeg inside is like waiting on the file handle. And then giving up. Oh, and then here he's getting mad because wait POSIX probably is trying to clean up streams. Or wait unwrapped. So we can't use this API either. We have to do stood POSIX wait. What does he do? What does he do? Wait PID on self ID. Yeah, we'll just do this. This is fine. This is fine. We will live. Okay, we'll just do this. And this is probably failable as well. So this will come in like catch. Okay. Fine. It's not the end of the world. We will live. Fuck! Self.id comes from selfchild.id. Wait PID results. Okay. So this isn't actually technically failable. So we'll just ignore the error or something. I don't know. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't really care. Okay. There we go. There we go. Let's take out the sleep. Take out the sleep, and then xdg open out.wave. Fuck. So why is it playing the wrong fucking file? There we go. There it is. Everything is happy and working. We are chilling. Big chilling. Okay. So I guess now we just need to integrate this with our word timestamp generator. Let's see. So I guess this wave writer should just go in source wave writer zig. Poor dog keeps getting. Sorry. Just plug their ears. It's aliens. Yeah. Const wave writer is equal to this, and then I think everything else should be fine in here. Sorry, it's just kind of funny that this guy named Rust Compiler is kind of like almost posting error messages in the chat asking for help. It's in my head at first. I was like, is this like a compiler whose interface is when there are compiler errors, it auto resolves them by asking chat? That was like my first thought there, and I thought that was kind of funny. Obviously, that's not what's happening, but it was just I thought it was funny. The end. Good story. Okay, so we were looking at word timestamp generator, and he is now going to import this like wave writer is import wave writer. Our wave writer is going to be used by our like debug output thing we were looking at before. And it's here when he gets the audio stuff, he can just say, hey, const wave writer, var wave writer is going to come from wave writer, initialized with our allocator, our sample rate of whisper sample rate, channels 1, and audio format F32, kind of fixed for now, and the output path of audio file name. Yup. Then we have defer wave writer dinit, or yeah, it was dinit. And then wave writer write audio of the audio buff. Boom. Which we didn't take in here. Oh, we do. It's called audio. But it can't be called audio. This should be called audio buff because we have const audio up here as an imported module. And that would be a name collision, which we don't like. No name collision allowed. Ever. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll just, for now, we'll discard the text because I want to get compiling, because it's frustrating to fix like a million compiler errors at once instead of a few compiler errors at once. Okay, so this is going to be initialized with like debug output path is a const u8, and we'll just, I guess, return debug output with a return folder is equal to folder. Sorry, debug output path. And then we probably also have to like std fs current working directory make dir make path debug output path. There we go. I'm assuming that make path is the one that recursively creates everything, but make dir is the one that will fail if the parent directory doesn't exist. And this does have like a while loop in it. Yeah, sure. Does this fail? Or is this one of those ones that always exceeds? It can fail. We'll try. Which means that this can go like this. And var debug writer debug output is equal to debug output dot init with debug output path. And then down here, every time we push whisper segments, we will pass in our debug output thing. That makes sense to me. And over here, we will just take that thing in. And then, oops, not an and in this language, it's a star in this language. Sorry. That would be awful of me to use references instead of pointers. How dare I? How dare I? No, but this actually isn't where it should go. I lied. I want it to go, I guess, here. It's kind of annoying because, like, the text is kind of pulled out here. Can we do something like return the text back when we push the segment? Fuck it. We'll do this. Audio. Piping is so hard. So hard. Okay, here's what we can do. Const start text idx is equal to but we don't have the fucking mutex locked here. Pain in my ass. Okay. It's okay. Debug output. Right. What do we call it? Bright whisper IO. We take in our allocator. We take in our start sample, which I actually don't know what it is, to be honest. Start sample, end sample. And then we need the audio buff and the text. So the text will just stub out as nothing for now, and then the audio buff is audio buff. This is easy. And then we just need to like figure out what start and end sample are. So start sample is equal to sampler output samples. So this is the number of samples that we've retrieved. So this is the end sample. And then the start sample is just going to be end sample minus the whisper sample rate times the length of the buffer. There. Okay, good enough. Fuck it. So what doesn't he like? Read declaration of audio in word timestamp standard generator. That makes sense. Fuck me. Shouldn't have done that. How dare I? How dare wave writer is, this needs to come from his sibling, not his child path. Debug output is fucked up here in main.zig 95. There we go. Debug output. This is optional, right? We might not have debug output. And then debug output init at word timestamp generator 284. Sure, we'll just make it so that our debug output knows that he might not have a folder to write to. And then here he'll just say, if not self folder, return. And then everywhere he'll just self folder. He'll just assume that he is available. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. 288. Why doesn't that work? Oh, because this guy also needs to be an optional here. Where are you going to use Whisper? Like at my house? In the code? I'm already using it. We are using it to generate a script for the video that we're editing. So the idea is that you can like click on a section of the text and it will give us back the timestamp. And then we can jump to that timestamp in the video editor. And then we can do stuff like create clips by selecting areas of text, blah, blah, blah. But as long as we have that like text to timestamp mapping, then we can do whatever we want with it, which is what we are doing. So if debug output path p, we use p here, lowercase p, because we used the lowercase p before. And write whisper IO is not a function in this shit show of a thing because it is failable. It is failable. So over here, we just write try, and then we're chilling. No. Error is ignored. Try. Try. If not self-folder, because that's not how you do it in this language, that's a C++ism, this is equal to null. 279. What's it complaining about? Wave writer init cannot convert between output path. Audio file name is some like fucked up shit. Oh, because here I probably have to write try on these. When you build code, is that a different alacrity tab? No, it's I'm just hitting Control Z to suspend Vim and then typing foreground to bring it back every time. What is it like there? No field, remember, named write audio in WaveWriter. What did I call it? Oh, it's just another one of these, like, I forgot to write try. Ah, it's a hard life out here. Propagating errors. Yo, what's up, what's up? Welcome. So now, theoretically, okay, so why is this taking forever to stop? This was supposed to be fixed, but I guess it's not. We have now debug output to debug output. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? I don't know why this isn't easy, like shutting down simply anymore, but let's see if debug output gave us anything. No. No, it did not. That's annoying. I wonder if like this stuff is hung. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So let's remove test JSON so that it starts from scratch.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
And we see that we've like
everybody.
called ffmpeg. We see him running here every once in a while, which is good.
The topic for today is...
And if I close this, that works as well. Okay. And then we have some wave files associated with those timestamps. That's really good. That's really good. We are close. We are close. Okay. That's sick. I don't know why it was hanging there before, but it seems like it was probably something related to like resuming.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back, everybody.
So if I hit save
Today
here and then close this and then run this again.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I don't know what was going on there. That's weird.
Today we're working...
we should probably like hide the standard output of ffmpeg. That's fucking annoying. So let's just do child stood out behavior is equal to ignore. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back,
Okay,
everybody.
that's cool. I guess it's standard error. I'm fine, I guess, if that's what you want from me. That's what we'll give. That's what we'll do. We will live with that.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome
Much
back,
better.
everybody.
Much better. Okay. And then let's print out the text. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah, sorry guys. I hope it doesn't get too annoying. But even if it does get too annoying, it'll wrap around eventually to being funny again. You just have to wait. Okay, so we need to like export the text here, so with no dude, holy shit. Writing with here, I just reverted to Python. I was gonna say with open text file name as F, but it's like, when was the last time I wrote Python? Like, not recently. That's so funny. Stud fs current working are, yeah, I guess it's this. Create file, text file name, and then probably we want to truncate it if it exists. Try this. Const text output is equal to this. Probably needs to be a variable. We need to close this guy eventually, and then what else do we have to do here? Stud or text output dot write all text. Boom. Easy. Now we just have to feed this in somewhere, so the text needs to come from, for now, I will just say const text start is equal to shared text len, or items len. I know this isn't really okay, but shut the fuck up. It's fine. I know that I'm the only thread that's like modifying this stuff, so I'm just gonna ignore the mutex locks for now. Oh, fine. Maybe I shouldn't. Stud shared mutex lock. If you guys are gonna be like fucking sticklers about it, I'll fucking do it. I know nobody said anything, but I am a stickler in my own head for you guys. And then we'll just write, oh, this is so annoying, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This can actually fail, so we have to write defer here. And then this is gonna be shared text items, text start, shared text items len. There we go. Okay, the rubber ducking is getting ahead. Yeah, I'm getting a little aggressive towards the rubber duck. Who are you guys? Where is that right all? Here.
Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back, everybody.
Okay,
Today
so
we're
now if
working-
I close this, we should see in debug output, we do have text. Okay, this is good. So now we can just rerun this and wait until we see the part of our thing that looks like shit, and we can correlate easily where it will come from. Are you guys not mad at your rubber ducks at
Yo,
home?
what's up, what's up,
I get
what's
mad at my
up?
rubber ducks at home all the
Back,
time.
everybody. Today
Anger
we're
is like the
working on
only
a video
motivator. It's all of programming, only anger. Where is... Okay, here we go. So this was at PTS 70.84. So we can look for the one that starts with is that. One of is this one. Okay, so we can look at this guy here.
Thought is that I can read faster than I can listen. I can read fast.
Wait, what the fuck?
Thought is that I can read fast.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting, right? We were kind of expecting that we would be actually missing stuff. But here he's starting at...
Read fast.
Oh, wait.
I can read faster.
What the fuck is going on? How come it's changing when based off when I press...
Thought is that I can read. Thought is that I can read.
Okay, so he's saying thought is that I can. And that thought is, at the beginning, is like considered noise, I guess.
That I can read.
In fact, sometimes we're not even hearing it. Like, what the fuck is going on there?
Is that I can read. Thought is that I can read.
I guess that's when I start playing after pause, VLC is taking a second to warm up.
Thought is read. That I can read. Thought is that I can read. That I can read faster than I can listen, and I can read fast. Thought is that I can read faster than I.
Yeah, he is saying, yeah, that's some guy. Who knows who it could be? Okay. And then where's the other guy end? So this guy ends at it'll be more fun.
Produce a tool.
Fuck off, VLC. Oh my god.
A tool that
What's happening? Why can't I seek?
A tool that made that easier, right? Then I can experiment more quickly, and I won't hate myself while I'm doing it, and
it'll. Doesn't, like, how come... This is supposed to say, and it'll be more fun. So where is that going? Because the VLC crashed, like, stopped here. We didn't hear that be more fun at all. Is it VLC's fault? ffplay.
actually do the cutting than it would to actually produce the video, which I'm sure is just like normal in video editing, but I'm not positive. Maybe I just suck. But
what the fuck? That's the wrong file? Oh, maybe it's this one. Which one is set ends with it would be more fun? What the fuck? Yeah, it's supposed to be this one. ffplay, this.
Produce a tool that made that easier, right? Then I can experiment more quickly, and I won't hate myself while I'm doing it, and it'll...
Where the fuck is the data? Do you have MPV? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. What the fuck is going on? Nix, shell, MPV. I guess there's like tons of things that could be going wrong here, which is kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Super fun. Okay, so we were looking at this guy that ends at 2000 is saying, hey, I end with the text and it'll be more fun. To reduce a tool that made that easier, right? Then I can experiment more quickly and I won't hate myself while I'm doing it, and it'll be more fun. That's what it's supposed to say.
Produce a tool that made that easier, right? Then I can experiment more quickly, and I won't hate myself while I'm doing it, and it'll...
Why are these waves only 6 seconds?
Thought is that I can read faster than I can listen, and I can read faster.
These are supposed to be 8 seconds.
I can skim text very effectively.
Where are the other 2 seconds going? What the fuck, man? I guess that kind of indicates that, like, we're cutting off our ffmpeg process a little early. Oh. No, we did was write all here. Print buff size is this. Okay. Let's just see what he says. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back, okay, everybody. What's this? Calc, or Python. This number, divided by 4 is how many samples? Divided by 16,000. 8 seconds. So we're getting 8 seconds of data, and we're feeding that into ffmpeg, and ffmpeg is going 6 seconds of data. Okay. Why ffmpeg? Why? Maybe after we close, maybe we don't kill and we just wait. Maybe ffmpeg will go, hey, that file is finished and I will exit gracefully now. Maybe. Maybe not, but maybe. You know, we can dream.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back, everybody.
Looks like that's working okay.
Today we're working...
So now we're looking again for the point where the text starts to fuck up, where we get like a line break that looks fucked. So here. So I think we're good to go. And we have this thing now again, and it was at this one? Yeah, this one.
Produce a tool that made that...
There, it says 8 seconds now, which is good.
I can experiment more quickly, and I won't hate myself while I'm doing it, and it'll be more fun. So...
Okay, so the so at the end of this got cut off. So here it should say so. And then here, in this next one...
Produce a tool that made that easier, right? Then I can experiment more quickly, and I won't hate myself.
Oh, wrong one. Fuck off. This one.
Thought is that I can read faster than I can...
Yeah, okay. So this one at the very end.
Reduce while I'm
Fuck. So it looks like we are kind of like, so the thought is getting split over two. Now, at the beginning of one of them, it seems like it should be okay. And at the, like, the word, there are full words. We're not like clipping the middle of a word, but it might be that whisper needs some form of like context in order to understand that those things are words and not just noise, right? Maybe like starting mid-sentence going like, that is like, he's just like, I don't know, man, you just like made a noise. That's you. And he's like, I'll just skip that part. And like at the end of the other file, he's going like, and he's like, and he's like, I don't know, just noise. Like that usually, when I've heard it before, if somebody starts a sentence with they're gonna finish the fucking sentence, right? You can imagine that. And so, we've at least proven to ourselves that there's like nothing really wrong with the audio, which like bisects this problem a lot, like a lot, because now we can be confident that there's something about like whisper. Yeah, there was some context thing whisper I remember seeing day one. Yeah, I think that it's likely that we have something to worry about there for sure. But I was equally worried about audio. We've kind of said to ourselves, audio is okay, and that's a big win for us. Big win for us. Okay. So I think maybe what makes sense to try is the next each consecutive run of whisper should maybe start at the end of the last word. End of the last word. I don't know if that's good enough. Should be though, because like we're hearing full words that it's not picking up. But you have like a clue that I was gonna say, like, you have a clue that the words that it had enough context for, and the other words might not have enough context. But maybe going by word doesn't make that much sense, to be honest. Like, maybe just going by time, right? How much time do you need to pick up the context of words that somebody's speaking about? Like, a second? Right? Maybe we just keep a second and then discard it every time. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. Yeah, let's just try that. Let's try that. Keep 1 second of overlapping whisper input. Yeah, I think that's basically what you're saying, Dirt. Is that there'd be some sort of middle window overlapping. What time is it? It is 01:22:48. That's not a time, that is a timestamp in the video, but it's, in my mind, time is only relative to the start of stream. My whole life, it is only relative to start of stream. Life is stream. You know? It's really not true, but I said what time is it and I had to justify it. I don't know if you guys do this thing where I say whatever I need to make things consistent. And so my friends have got me to say like real wacky shit. Just because I said something else before and I have to stay consistent with what I had said 3 seconds ago. So then they're like, if you said that, you must think this. And it's like, you are right. They're like, will you say that for me? And I'm like, here you go. And they're like, we will use that against you forever now. And I'm like, that makes sense. I would too. Okay, keep overlapping whisper input. So let's git add-u and git commit-m, save whisper input in debug folder. And then we can get into this word timestamp generator shit. Oh, git add source wave render. This is a new file. Git status. Anything else that's new that we need to keep? Maybe, no, yeah, that's fine. Git commit amend. Okay, let us try overlapping time. So in our init thread, what are we going to do? This audio buffer, on every iteration, instead of setting buff pause to 0, we're going to set buff pause to 1024. No, I don't know why I thought 1 second is 1024. Sample whisper sample rate times 1, which is whisper sample rate. And then before we do that, we will basically mem copy. We can't mem copy because overlapping slices, it's going to be a problem, except there's no overlapping slices because we know that our buffer is longer than 1 second. So we can just do like a raw mem copy backwards from audio buff, the length of the buffer minus whisper sample rate to audio buff len. This is going to be copied to the start of the buffer, which is over here. Yeah. Yeah. So far, so good. He doesn't like something here. Expected end of square bracket found comma. Oh, here. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. It's like this. Okay. We're gonna copy this shit backwards. Then somewhere we're using buff size seconds, and we're gonna have to make a new constant like overlap size s is equal to 1. Then we can do everywhere we do this times overlap sample size. Even though it's 1, it just will make it'll make it clearer other places that is what we are doing. So here, number of samples processed is going to have to be added by buff size seconds minus overlap size seconds, right? That's how much we have actually incremented each iteration. And over here, start sample is the same. Yeah. No. The end sample is sampler output samples. That's right. And the beginning of our buffer is going to be the full buffer size back, even with the overlap. That makes sense. So then the file names will be like, 100 to 210, and then 200 to 310. And so there will be some overlap there, but that's correct for the file names. Okay. Okay. Where else is buff size s used? Literally, that's it. Interesting. So I guess here, whisper next. Somebody's using the buffer length as well to calculate something as well. Like, they must be. Our input sampler is fine. The thing that we're taking input from is going to progress at the same rate. But we just have to be careful here when we adjust our start time here. The whisper runner is going to say like, hey, whisper's going to say this thing happened at timestamp 0, but I know timestamp 0 is actually this other timestamp. And we are adjusting this, and we have to be careful about that. I'm thinking. If we just discard the first second, we have a problem. Hold on. So there's kind of like two problems that we're trying to solve at the same time here, right? One is that like, so the ends up here, and then we like over here you have like problem is. And so we kind of have to like if we just kind of like discard the last second here, we're only fixing this problem. And if you only discard this stuff, you're only fixing that problem. So what is the correct behavior here? The correct behavior is that we have some buffer on both sides. So maybe we buffer by 2 seconds. Oh, but that's so much. But it's only so much if we only run 8-second segments. So if we have 16,000 hertz data that at 4 bytes apiece times, like, what if we did way more at once? What if we did like 60 seconds at once? That's 3 megs. 3.5 megs, which is fine. That's like not a problem to heap allocate 3 megs at once. Then we could take 2-second buffers, like, and that's only a small percentage of the whole thing. I'm still struggling with something. I guess if we draw it like this. No, we want to draw it like this. This guy is going to come here. Then we have like another second buffer that's coming like here. And we have some amount of time that we consider not okay. Right? And you want it to line up so that these guys overlap like this. Right. Yes. Yeah. So if we think that, like, we need 1 second of context, then we need 2 seconds of buffer. 1 second on each side. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. So in our init thread, maybe we'll say const required context s is equal to 2. We'll set it to 2 for now, which means, or no, required context size is 1. We need at least 1 second around each word that was said. So the overlap size is going to be 2 times the required context size. Okay. Then in our whisper thing, we are going to maybe take in the required context size in seconds, which makes sense to me. And we are going to like stash that somewhere. Now, what's going to get kind of weird here is I think the start time is going to be the negative required context time. I think. Which is kind of odd. Float or int from float this times 1,000. As F32 or as I64. I think this makes it work. Because I'm assuming that on the first run, we don't want to have like special handling code. And so if we make the start time of the runner negative time, then once he applies the context to the first buffer, we'll just also pad the first buffer with the context size. And then he will just skip those, that segment, and he'll start at 0. I think that's how this is going to work out. No, that's wrong. I changed my mind. I think this is going to be 0. Because what we're essentially going to do is we're essentially going to say we have some like padding data, like interesting data padding is kind of what we are claiming to do here. And so we're basically saying this here is where we start parsing from. Yes. That makes sense. So somewhere, we increase our start time here. Why? Adding the size of the buffer times 1,000, blah, blah, blah. And we just say minus required context ms times 2. Right? The amount of padding on each side of the buffer. Yes. Which kind of means that this, we should just keep this in milliseconds. That will be cleaner. Times 1,000, I guess. Yeah, sure, fuck it. As I64 int from float. Sure, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Good enough. I don't know, man. Like this. And then over here, when we're iterating our segments, we essentially want to say if segment whisper segment end s. Let me think about this. If it starts before required the like context window, pretty sure the as I64 not necessary there. I think it is because this required like there's a float. There's something going on here where the int cast needs to know that it's an I64 to be subtracted this. It was erring at me. I wouldn't have as casted it if in the return. Oh, I don't know where you're talking about anymore. Oh, no, I don't know. Not sure. It's fine. It's fine. We will leave it anyways, even if it's better to fix it, because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to figure it out. Okay, so if this is less than here, I guess we'll pass in required context s as a float. So if this is less than required context s, continue. And if the end of the word is greater than the buff size s, which we don't really have here, minus this, then we also continue. Or maybe we break. Okay. What is in this segment IT? Oh, fuck. This comes out adjusted already. Fuck me. Fuck. Fuck. Everything's so hard. Everything's so hard. Segment IT has a start time in centiseconds. So if... gross. Gross. Maybe what we do here is we spit out the start and end time relative to the beginning of the file, as well as start s buff. There we go. And this is start s file. And we'll just say relative to the entire file, relative to this run of Whisper. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Then we say segment start CS is equal to this, and we can actually say buff segment start CS is this. Buff segment start S is this. Throw some buffs everywhere here. Boom, boom, boom. And then these are also buff relative. And then we just say, these buff goes at the end here. I guess we'll put them at the front. I like them better at the front now that I'm reading it. Oh my god. File underscore. Okay, and then how do the file and buffer ones relate? Plus start time CS as F32 start time CS over 100. And this has to be float from int. Gross, 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 gross. But we're just in get it moving mode, you know? So sometimes you deal with bullshit that you don't like because you have to move on with your life. And, you know, it just doesn't fucking matter. It never fucking matters. There we go. There we go. Ugh. What? I'll fix it later. There's so much wrong here. Like, not wrong, like, it's mathematically, I think, correct, but, like, just the way that we're representing stuff is so stupid, but it's fine. It's fine. Who calls next on this guy? So here, this is going to come from file start and file end is where we were working from before. And then here, now we can work with buff start and buff end. Here we go. And then we need to take in the buffered size in seconds as well. So this just comes in like this. All right. Might work. It might. It might. Hold on. I'm not convinced that I did this right actually over here. The buffer segment start is added to the start time in centiseconds, which comes from where? This comes from this guy, which is increased by the buffer length times 1000 minus the required context milliseconds times 2. Okay, yeah, no, that's right. It is accounting for both the start and the end. I'm not like 100% convinced, but I'm not 100% convinced. I guess I am not 100% convinced, but I'm not 0% convinced. I guess we'll just kind of run it and see what fucking happens. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little bit of like a fancy timeline implement. There's so much missing there. There's so much missing here. Okay. Maybe we like did it the wrong way. Okay, so here we have... Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for... Okay. MPV. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little... trying to work on a bit of like a fancy timeline implementation. Whoa, what the fuck was that? A bit of like a fancy... There's a bug with where the audio buffer is getting copied poorly. So where are we doing that like backwards copy? So the buff pause needs to be whisper sample rate times overlap required context S. Yep. And then here we're going from 0 to the whisper sample rate times overlap size seconds is being copied from the length minus whisper sample rate this is required context S, I think. Yeah, that makes more sense. Let's see if that's better. Let's rm-r debug output and restart. Let's just see. Fuck! Current working directory not available. Okay, there we go. Yo! Pause. Let's wait. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're working on my video editor and the topic for timeline implementation. So pitch if for project. Yeah, there's missing stuff again. But let's just look and listen. So this guy ends at the topic for. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little... Okay. And then here, a little bit of like a fancy timeline implementation. So... okay, so... Hold on. A little bit of like a fancy timeline implementation. So this should start at timeline implementation, which it does. Right, if you look at like the sound, we're skipping the first second here. Which feels right. Hold on, let's again. A little bit of like a fancy time. A little bit of like a is like where we should hear this end. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little... Something's wrong. Working on a little bit of like a fancy... The overlap is not 1 second. Why is the overlap not a full second? Times the times the sample size. Everywhere he needs time sample size. That explains a lot. Okay, so arm-r debug output. Let's try again. Haven't made this fuck sound my sub sound yet? No, but I should. It's very funny. I like that idea. He doesn't like this because I just fucked up something. Index out of bounds. Whisper sample rate times required context S times sample size. Audio buff length minus whisper sample rate times required context. So my audio buff is the sample rate times the size seconds times the sample size. So who's getting mad at this guy? I guess we'll use GDB. I guess we'll run in the debugger. If you're gonna make me, fine, we'll fucking do it. I don't guess. Jeez. Fine, Mom. Yo, what's up? Okay, so what's he complaining about? He is complaining at 8, frame 8. Index 20480. So which of these guys is that number? What is this? Oh, great. Okay, fine. We'll fucking change the fucking this to 16,000 because it got compiled out. I get it. Really? No required context S? I guess required context S is also hard-coded, which is 2. Index, what is this thing coming from? So it's not this, and it can't be this. Oh. Hold on. I missed one. 2 audio buff length times sample size. This is in the wrong spot. This should be here. I'm just an idiot. I am just an idiot sometimes. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to read and write. And when you just punch shit into the wrong spot, it doesn't work. Shocker, you know? Who would have known? Yo, what's up, what's up? Pause. Shut the fuck up, you. Whoever you are, this guy. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic of like a fancy timeline implementation. So the pitch of the project is days around 2 o'clock. Yes, there's missing text still. Still tons of missing text. Okay. First of all, I need to say debug output. We need this to go somewhere. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so we've given him some time to spit out a few of them. And so this guy ends at the topic 4. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little... Okay. Is trying to work on a little bit of like a fancy... Is trying to work on... Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. 3. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little... Is trying to work on a little... Is trying to work on a little bit of like a... So those are overlapping by the right amount. I'm hearing the same thing on both sides. And so like... This is starting at the right place, I think, of like a fancy timeline implementation. That feels right to me because it's skipping the first second here. It's trying to work on a little bit of like a fancy timeline implementation of like a fancy time. So that's right. It's the end of this guy. Who's also got that 1 second at the end. So it's like the overlaps we've got 1 second on both, but it should be 2 seconds that are the same between both. So where is this overlap size used? Only here. So it seems like this required context S should be overlap size S, probably. Here, when we're moving back, not the required context, because the required context is... No. No, this should be required context. I have RQ RQ, and I'm trying to move it so that this comes back to the beginning. Yes, that's right. All of this should be required context. Oh yeah, and there should be 1 second of... I'm confused. I guess it is 2 seconds. I guess we do want... Yes. We do want to keep in 2 times RQ here, because when we come back here, then we're going to have RQ, RQ, and he's going to start here, which is here. Yes. Okay. Overlap size S here. Overlap size S here. Overlap size S here. But he's taking in... Okay, so if it's like... this is RQ. Then we have this is what's being read. But then we keep this stuff here at the beginning of the next buffer, which this becomes this. Yes. Okay, that all lines up, I think. Let's try that. rm-r debug output. Okay, let's see if this... Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for is trying to work on a little bit of like a fancy timeline. Topic for today is trying to work on a little bit of like a fancy time. So we're missing today in there. So the pitch for the project is that I stream most days around 2 o'clock Pacific time on Twitch. If you want swing by, and to swing by, want to swing by, and we upload those videos to YouTube. Maybe they don't fit. There's missing a they as well. I feel like there's like still occasional missing words. Where we're at right now is we have like a video. Yeah, we're missing like individual words. Is we have like a now where we have like, and is like as we get farther along, are we like off in terms of like position? Messages in chat. No, okay, so we are tracking well. Thanks for the prime, much appreciated. But it just seems like maybe the overlap isn't sufficient. So here we're starting at is trying to work on a little bit. And the topic for today is trying to work on a little bit of like... So that feels like it's starting at the right place. If we are supposed to have a second of context. Yo, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little... The topic for today is... Sorry, my brain is like not really fully functional here. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic 4. So this is ending at 4. Oh, maybe it's because we're discarding words too aggressively. Hold on. Where is that discarding happening? If the start time is less than the required context, maybe this should be end seconds? And this should be start? So if we're starting after... okay, so if we... Yeah, if we start after the required context size, then fuck off. But if we start before it, then it's okay. And same here. If we end after, but we start before, it's fine as well. And then there might end up being overlap between the two, which might be kind of fucking annoying. Yo, we'll see how that feels. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work a little bit on like a fancy time implementation. So pitch for the project is yeah. So we've got some sort of like overlap there, which is kind of fucking annoying. If we limit it less aggressively, can we do like split the difference? No, that doesn't feel right either. It feels like it should be if we start the word in the context time, then fuck off. Or if we end, if the whole word, yeah, it does feel like it should be if we start in the context time, then fuck off. Him. let me think about this. Let's think about this. Okay. So this is context time. This is context time. These are the same thing. So say we are like, no, these aren't the same. This is the same here. So these line up perfectly. Yes. So this is the same. So if we say like today right here, this will be today right here. And so like the edge case we're looking at is if like we have something like today. I guess we just need to handle these two edges differently, right? So we can say that if it starts in this area, then it's fine on this side, but if it ends past it on this side, then it's not fine. That feels okay to me. So here we'll say at the end, if the buff end s is in the end segment, just like discard it. But here we'll look at end s on both sides. Does that make sense? So here we're saying like, hey, if it ends in that area, fuck off. And here we're saying if it starts before that area, we will take it. Or if it ends, and we will discard it only if it ends before the context time. That feels okay? That feels like it should be right? Yo. What's up? Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today is trying to work on a little bit of a fancy timeline implementation. So the pitch for the project, pitch for the project. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't say the project is that this is still doubled up. And we're seeing that the timestamps for these guys, this guy's at 12 and this guy's at 12:02, which is a problem. These are the same word. Larger paddings? Yeah, that's not crazy, right? Project is maybe taking like a full second of time, and maybe that's just not enough. We could try larger paddings. I'm down to try that. We could also do something like check if the word has already been accounted for. I want to try that first. Right, because where were we? Here. So if, let me think about this. This is the first half. This is the end. At the end of the thing, at the start of our thing, if we are the same word as what we saw at the end of the last thing, then we should say fuck off. Here, project was right on a 6-second boundary. So he's like he's straddling the line. But the end of the word in the first one, I would have thought would go over the end. Right, like I would have thought that here, if we see here, project starts at 12.0. And then on the second one, we are seeing, oh, this is at the end. And then here we're seeing project starts at 12.02 or something. I think is what we're saying. Yeah. Which is actually, in this case, it's 1.02. And here it's 7.0 or something. 6.0? 7.0. So here I would have thought that the end of the word would be in this thing. But it's not. But maybe we can just log word. Do I not log these words somewhere else already? Okay, I thought I logged the word somewhere already. Let's just take a look. Let's take a look. Yo, I mean, clearly not. Okay, so we can log the words somewhere. Can we log them in here? We can. So we can just say std debug print. Can you do some form of wave pattern matching? If the start of new segment equals end of previous segment, then discard end of previous. Maybe. That doesn't seem like super crazy. But like the timestamps is the wave matching, I would think. Like the timestamps should be sufficient. I think that I'm just doing something stupid here. So let's say that we have like the start of the thing to the end of the thing. And here we're going to log the text as well. We're going to just look at whisper segment, file start S, whisper segment, file end S, and then the shared text from whisper segment text. Yeah, here we go. That's what we're looking for. I just want to see the like project stuff going on there. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Oh, we need new lines? Fine. Fine. If you're going to be like that, Zig, fine. I'll fucking put my new lines. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. But only for you. Only because you asked so nicely. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Okay. So here we have 12 to 12.7. And here we have 12 to 13.12. So we should be discarding this. Because like the start and end are past the buffer size. I think. So here we're saying we discard the first second. And we discard, so we're discarding from 6 to 7 and 0 to 1. So here we're starting at 6. Are these timestamps wrong? And the topic for today, 5.92. The 6.09. They're a little off, but nothing to like be too concerned about, I think. Oh, it's because we're breaking here. Let's just continue here as well so that we can see everything, the whole overlap. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. We were missing some data. Okay. Fuck. Stop. Okay. So pitch for the project. Oh, so we're discarding 13 to 14 here. And so project is coming in at ending before 13. I see. And here he's starting before 13, but ending after 13. So the end of the words are not lining up in the two different runs. Which is kind of surprising. Is the drift getting worse over time? Maybe they don't at 24. Maybe they don't. No, it seems fine. Okay, so there's just some amount of like imprecision in the like labeling, which makes sense, right? Because each word is not really what it was designed for, if I remember correctly. Okay. So it's not like, I guess like by our rules, it's not doing anything wrong, of course, because it's following the rules, because it's code. It does what it's told. But here we just need to come up with different rules that will reject project in one of these two cases. Ugh. Gross. Gross. So the overlap time is 12 to 13. Oh, wait a second. This one, 12.02, the start of project is after the overlap time. Wait, I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Here we're supposed to print in 8-second chunks. So 0 to 8, and then we start at 6. And then we go to 14. Yes. Okay, so we go 0 to 8, 6 to 14. Which means that here we're considering anything after 7 seconds not okay. Anything before 7 seconds not okay. Those are like our overlap times. Okay, so 1 second on each side. Back to this one later. So here we're going 6 to 14 and then 12 to 20. So anything in 13 onward is fair game on this side. Anything before 13 is fair game on this side. That's the rules that we should be living in right now. And so in this guy's world, project is 100% on his side. So it makes sense that he takes him. But then here we've got this like borderline thing where we're like, oh, the word kind of starts after 13, but I'm not really sure. And that's why before we were saying, well, if the words, before we were doing this, we were saying, if the word starts, if the word ends after the buffer, like, if the word is at all in that context zone, give the fuck up. Right? That's kind of what we were saying before. But then we were missing words. I'm pretty sure we were missing words in this case. Yo. Right? Like, the topic for today. Right? So here we're missing today, right off rip. Right? We're missing this today because he's overlapping in both cases. Your timestamp should align exactly, right? I know you said you didn't think that's a big deal, but they should be able to, then you won't be able to properly discard with differentiating time rate. But I think that like the way that the network works is that I can't expect precise timelines from it, or precise timestamps from it. That's the problem, is that I don't think that we can rely on that. Oh, okay. So, the topic for today here. So here we got like the opposite problem where today starts at 6.72. The timestamps are coming from Wizard, yeah. 6.72 to 7.04, 6.74. So I like the idea of like keeping one side of them. I guess what we just have to do is like word matching, maybe. Or like timestamp overlap matching. Yes. That's what it is. If the two words overlap by a certain margin of error, then we discard. That seems reasonable to me. So at the start of each iteration, discard words that overlap heavily with words in previous run. And in practice, we should only have one word. Or we could even get crazier and just discard any words that overlap at all. So here we just say if the buffer start is less than segment shared segments items at shared segments items len -1, right? Dot end. And this will say file start s. So if this thing starts after, like before the end of the last word, fuck off. And then here we'd say, hey, if the word starts after the end time, don't take it. Yes. If the word starts in the overlap time, fuck off at the end. And if we see the same word, fuck off. Wonderful. That seems reasonable. We might need to make this a little bit more like if we have 30% overlap, but let's try this first. So here we just have to make sure that this is a valid index. So we just have to say if this is not 0. There. That seems reasonable.
What's up?
We'll see. What's up? Today, okay, what's up, everybody? Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today, trying to work. Fuck, we're missing is there. For the topic for today is, so here we have today ending at 7.04 and is starting at 7.04, and here we have is starting at 7. So we just need to like allow a level of overlap. So here we'll say const if this we say const prev segment is this. If const overlap is going to be segment dot prev segment and we want like overlap in some unit, but I don't know what. If this, what is end here? Is end a float? It is. So we don't have to worry about like going negative. So if prev segment end minus segment start should be positive if there's overlap. And so this is overlap in seconds. If overlap, and then we'll take the shorter of the two lengths, I guess. Const word len is the minimum of the previous segment end minus previous segment start, and our segment end minus segment start. And we'll say that the overlap, if overlap s is greater than, or overlap p percentage, no, overlap amount, overlap relative overlap, I like that, is equal, if this is the overlap s over the word len, if the relative overlap is greater than some amount, 0.3, I don't fucking know, then we adjust the new segment is the previous segment dot end, because we need to make sure that these guys are monotonically increasing, which means this is be variable. No. If this is greater than 0.3, we continue. Otherwise, we do this and move on. Maybe. There's a lot of kind of, I'm just kind of like feeling it out. I don't actually know how much I like that, but maybe that'll work. Yo. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're working on my video editor, and the topic for today, blank, no is. Okay, so we're immediately fucking up there. Today is 7.04 to 7.18. Then you have 7 to 7.12. So can we think about that? That's, how much overlap is that? That's 0.04 overlap? No, 7.04 to 7.18. 7 to 7.112. Oh wait, there should be no overlap here. The last word here is today, and the first word here is. Oh, but we're using, to is starts at 7, today ends at 7.04. So we have a 0.04 overlap over a 0.12 length thing at is, which is 3.3. Okay, so we just need to maybe increase the overlap percentage. Maybe we'll go high, 0.7. And we'll just kind of see how that feels. It might feel okay, it might feel like shit. You know? You just gotta... yeah, I don't know if I'm like doing this wrong, but it does feel... It feels like you need some form of heuristic. And the topic for today is trying to work on a little bit of a fancy timeline implementation. So pitch for... pitch for the project... I didn't say the... I've got is twice here at 12.7. At 12.7. Okay, so here I've got 12.7 is. And 13 is the threshold here. Then I have 13... Oh, there's just 0 overlap here. I wonder if I'm fucking up in some way, like the timestamps over time, but maybe they're just not accurate enough. That's another possibility. It depends on if, like, I'm drifting over time or if it's just wrong. Because, like, this is just having 0 overlap is a little crazy. A little crazy. But maybe for now we live with the duplicate words. Because you know what? Duplicate words is better than missing words, which is what this case we were in before. You know? We could also... What the fuck? Dilly-dally more on Twitch. Maybe answer the same question. Dilly-dilly-dally more on Twitch. That's so funny. Where's Dilly in here? Let's see how bad that is. Dilly. 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 Hello? Delhi? Why is that Delhi? Like, what the fuck? Why is that not in my buffer? This is at 30.65. What the fuck? That should be in here. That should be here. 30... 30.65. Oh, it's because it's 2 separate words. So here it says what? It says dilly dilly deli. So here's the deli, dilly dilly here, 30.1, 30.07. Ugh. Gross. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this, but maybe it's fine. Okay. Maybe it's fine. It might be fine. Let's try to break up some paragraphs now by reducing our split threshold here down to like 0.5 or something seconds instead of 1.0. I just want to see if now that we have full on like proper everything, if like we can start breaking up paragraphs. Maybe they. Why isn't this splitting now? Hello? Maybe? Okay, we need to just fuck off the rest of these prints. Oh, maybe it's because there's a save file? No. Split threshold S is at 0.5. Okay, let's get rid of some of these other prints because I just want to see why like if the split stuff is working. You know? So, like, even here, 12.02 to 12.7, that's over 0.5. So I don't understand why it's not splitting. Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? It was working the other day, I felt like. Yeah, what the fuck? If the last segment N plus shared split threshold S is less than segment start, could be that there's like punctuation in there. Let's actually bring that print back and look for project is in there. Because it's supposed to split if it sees a gap of 0.5 seconds. What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome. Okay. Project Oh, I see. It's because the end of the word to the start of the next word isn't 0.5. 12.7. Okay. Sure. So that's like working. We just need to maybe reduce the threshold even more. Let's maybe look for a word where I think it should cause a paragraph break, and then reverse engineer the distance from there. Welcome back, everybody. So it should be after welcome back, everybody. After welcome back, everybody, we should have a break. Welcome back, everybody. So everybody goes from... Oh, fuck me. Oh, okay. So they have punctuation here that covers a span of time. Welcome back, everybody, today. We could just go by start of word instead of end to start, and then that would maybe fix this up a little bit. Let's try that. Let's try that. Last segment start. If the last segment start plus our threshold is less than the new segment start, let's add a line break. Okay, today we're working on there, and the topic for today is trying to work on a build of fancy time implementation. So the first project is that I stream most days. Okay, so it's a little too aggressive. Let's try tuning it back a little bit. So let's go back up to like 0.8 or something. And let's just see if that feels okay. The punctuation we'll have to deal with. That feels okay though. If you want to swing by. And, you know, we upload... what's going on there? And... days. And, you know, like, there should be a break here, I feel like. And... right, because this is at, like, 20... 21. It's like a full second. Why? Why? Where is that? That was at like, and you know. I lost it. It was at 20 seconds. 20 seconds. That's right. We clicked on the timestamps and everything. I mean, it's just lying, right? And, you know, it's just spacing it out. Okay. So we're just gonna have to maybe live with that. Maybe that's just the way it has to go. But maybe this is good enough. I'm just gonna look at it a little bit more. Maybe they don't. Yeah, okay. If I had the freedom to kind of like opening a stream with Katie. This is supposed to say Katie in live, but it's fine. I mean, it's not great, but there's probably that was auto-generated from video that is at 92.96. We is at 94.23. Okay. That was auto-generated from... So it's moving, it's definitely shuffling some timestamps around, and there's nothing we can really do about that, right? Like, it's putting the pause in the wrong spot here. Video. That was auto-generated. Right, like, there's a big gap between video and that, but in the timestamps that we're seeing in the terminal, those are really close together. So, we're just gonna have to live with that. We might decide now that maybe splitting on periods is, like, maybe a better way to break things up, but this isn't too bad. It does feel like it's often off by one. Like, few messages in chat. Get into it. Few messages in chat. Let's get into it. Why is it not saying let's get into it? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yeah, so there's definitely not perfectly accurate. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it there for today. It feels like we definitely fixed the problem that we set out to fix, right? We set out to fix the problem that there was missing words, and we kind of corrected that by overlapping segments of the audio and using a little bit of heuristics to like ditch some like overlapping words that were being shown twice, but we overlap and then we try to pick the ones that we think are good. We now occasionally have duplicate words. That's a lot better than before. Right now we have the full script. We were experimenting last stream with the idea of splitting at long gaps in the audio, and based off what I'm seeing now that we have all of the information, it doesn't really feel like that's the right approach. So I'm gonna swing back in tomorrow, and maybe we'll try splitting on period. That feels like it'll work better, because it doesn't feel like there's a lot of periods in here, honestly. And even if we did break at every period, that would be a lot easier to read than not breaking at all. So we'll try that. That'll probably be pretty quick, and if that's good enough, then we can work on like better clipping behavior. We'll be back at tomorrow. I think we made good progress today. I think that it's likely that ability to listen to different segments of whisper generated text is going to become useful as we debug in the future. So happy that that's in. Cool. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, we stream most days at around 2 o'clock Pacific time for around 2 hours. If you're new here, there's a YouTube link in the Twitch description. And we have all of our stuff organized into playlists. So right now we're working on this video editor, but there's other stuff in there if you want to go check it out. There's like operating system, neural network, terminal emulator, QR code decoder, Git GUI, zlib implementation. Like there's lots of stuff in there, so go check it out if you want to. There's also a GitHub link in the Twitch description where our code for all of these projects ends up if you want to go check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a Twitch link in the YouTube description where you can swing by and say hi if you're online between the hours of 2 and 4 o'clock Pacific time. Like, subscribe, Twitch Prime, and buy YouTube, Twitch. Let's figure out who to raid.